Hi, my name is Madison Johnson, and I'm presenting on Eric T. Poehlman. He's a former professor for the Department of Medicine at the University of Vermont of the College of Medicine. So, Eric T. Poehlman was a scientist who mainly studied obesity and aging. For his misconducts, there are many different research topics and articles that were being studied and written by Eric Poehlman. The cases that he studied overall, not just the ones under review for misconduct, were cases that studied metabolic rates of older women, changes in energy balance of women going through menopause, the effects of menopause on blood pressure and insulin levels, fat composition and distribution in women going through menopause, as well as effects of exercise on metabolic rates and fat oxidation in older people. With his misconduct, Eric T. Poehlman falsified data regarding values that included the physical performance and medical vitals of patients on several different occasions, such as blood pressure, such as fat distribution, and he also falsified and fabricated data in order to receive federal funding for several different of his projects. This data was represented in 10 different articles that were later retracted. So there were different topics of each of the 10 articles that he did falsify data in. It wasn't all just the same topic. So as he testified that he did falsify data and evidence, Eric Poehlman was sentenced to 1 year in federal prison for testifying false data, as well as having to pay $180,000 in fines. Along with that, he also had 10 of his articles retracted, and he was stripped from ever being able to receive grant money for any of his scientific research again. So, being a scientist, before this and before all of his falsifications and misconduct, he did have 200 other articles that he authored that do remain in literature, that he was able to say that no data or anything else in the articles were fabricated or falsified or had any misconduct in them as well. There were a few of the articles that he had written that weren't retracted altogether. There were just little parts of it that they needed to fix, so they went back and fixed those. So here's a list of the 10 different papers that were retracted. Each one of them, as you can see, has its own different research that was studied about and different research topics. So it goes all over the place, from the first one being determinants of decline in resting metabolic rate in aging females, jumping to the fifth one, effects of the menopause transition on body fatness and body fat distribution, and even the last one being effects of endurance training on total fat oxidation in elderly persons. So it goes from women going through menopause to even just older people in general. what happened to Eric T. Poehlman and even the university. The university did conduct their own research and concluded that there was falsified data and fabricated data present in the studies. Therefore, they did let him go, obviously. And this also did have an effect on the university, as they spent a lot of money on him and his research. Also, it always affects the university when one of their scientists or their professors is caught and then known for falsifying data. Nobody really wants to be a part of that, so they kind of had that to look out for. He now works as an academic advisor for Champlain Regional College. So that's where he is at today. There was a letter that he did write to the judge of his case that said basically that he falsified the data and did all of that for his own personal gain and for his own personal just being seen as a great scientist. So it was all for how he looked in the scientific field. So he did say he wasn't really thinking about the effects of what it would mean to falsify all that data and what it would be to affect other people. So thank you so much.